Another part of the ecology of a bog site, think about the water and plant root systems. So all living organisms, well, most, need oxygen. There's some weird bacteria that don't. So if you're growing in a really wet site, there's a lack of oxygen for the roots. I don't know if the video shows it well or not, but it's fairly hummocky in here. So there's low areas and slightly humped areas. And you'll notice that most of the trees and the denser vegetation and the shrubs are growing on those hummocks. So right here is a patch of trees and shrubs, also right there. And it's just a slightly, ever so slightly elevated piece of land, providing just that unique growing conditions, just enough, a little bit extra oxygen, getting the roots just a little bit elevated out of the wet growing condition. So you can see that across the bog. So we spent some time thinking about the trees, the shrubs, and went all the way down and looked at those low-lying mosses, the cranberry, creeping snowberry, bog cranberry. There's a bog cranberry there. And thought about the ecology of the bog. So being wet, nutrient-poor wetland provides great habitat for amphibians. Bird species will nest in here. From a forest operation standpoint, you can tell the trees are pretty small. Not much harvestable timber in here. The ground is very difficult. You wouldn't want to bring heavy machinery in here. And it'd be very difficult to reestablish the vegetation in here if you were to log. So we don't really log these sites. It's best to keep them out of our cut blocks if we're thinking about forestry operations. And just keep it as a wildlife reserve and wildlife habitat and protect the sensitivity of these ecosystems. Things take a long time to grow here. I've gone off the boardwalk a little bit to reach some of these plants, but I've tried to stay on this boardwalk out here as much as possible just to help protect the sensitivity of this site.